Proverbs 22:11 says, "He that loveth pureness of heart, for the grace of his lips, the king shall be his friend." We began our look at this proverb by discussing what pureness of heart means. And with that understanding, we see that what is in our heart is reflected by what comes out of our mouth and past our lips. Jesus was addressing the opposite of the grace of his lips when dealing with the Pharisees. And in Matthew 15:18 he said, "But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man." Job's friends were not good friends during his time of need. From their hearts came distortions and false accusations and false conclusions. In Job 16:2, Job was getting fed up with their nonsense, and he said, "I have heard many such things. Miserable comforters are ye all." By contrast, Job's heart was humble. He was not overly critical or unfairly judgmental. He would have been a comfort to his friends. From the heart of Job would have come understanding, compassion, and support. Job put it this way in Job 16:5, "But I would strengthen you with my mouth, and the moving of my lips should assuage your grief." And Job's example is what's being expressed here in our proverb. "He that loveth pureness of heart, for the grace of his lips, the king shall be his friend." This isn't to be confused with flattery or what's just called positive confession. This isn't a man who's just always positive or, quote, never says a cross word, end quote. Those people get a lot of praise from other people, but they're useless to the king. They're useless as friends, parents, or mentors. You don't need flattery. You don't need to surround yourself with yes people. That is not what's being promoted in this proverb. But you also don't need people who are extremely negative and unable to see the bright side or calmly think through a problem and find a solution. Either of those extremes make for bad friends and associations. And whether you're a king or an average Joe, you want to make friends of people who deal in reality, people who are balanced, thoughtful, measured, people who are sensible. A man or a woman who loves pureness of heart will not be overly positive or overly skeptical, because both of those extremes are not accurate or honest. And so a person who's always too far one way or the other, they're just not accurate or honest in their assessments of life or of particular situations. And if you want to be the kind of person that others can look to for advice, then only accurately state the truth. Only accurate statements should come from your lips. Grace doesn't involve deception or a false witness. If you had a doctor who looks at you and says, "You're fine, you're great, you're in wonderful health," and he doesn't tell you about that condition he found in you that needs treatment and maybe even surgery, that doctor actually is your enemy. And when all's said and done, he may be your killer. And it's the same with friends and associates from whom we receive any counsel or opinions. And so it is with us as we deal with people in serious matters as well. Be honest, be tactful, be measured, and be considerate, but be honest. May we have the attitude we read about back in Proverbs chapter 8, verse 7. "For my mouth shall speak truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips." I mean, don't be unfeeling. Don't be a robot. Show some humanity, but always be honest with people. That's, of course, the best policy. And that's why at our local church here in Worthington at BBF, we actually have a banner on the wall, and it's our motto. We say this: "We love you enough to tell you the truth." Amen.